Good morning, students. I hope all of you are safe. In the previous lesson, we have studied about the process of digestion, in which we saw the different organs get involved in the process of digestion, like stomach, small intestine, large intestine, gallbladder, liver, pancreas. Now in this lesson we are going to study about the next process of the nutrition, that is absorption, assimilation. So let's begin the lesson. This is the slide that shows the activity. So we are going to study the effect of saliva on food or on starch. That is the starch present in food. So what are the procedure? First we will take the two test tubes labeled A and B. Tube A contains 1 tablespoon of boiled rice and tube B has 1 tablespoon of rice which has been chewed for 3 to 5 minutes. After that we will add 4 ml of water to both the test tubes, and then 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution is added to each test tube. So what we have observed, as you can see, this is the diagram where we have taken two test tubes A and B. In A we have kept the boiled rice and in B we have kept the boiled and chewed rice, and we have added the water in both the test tube, as well as we have put on the 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution both the test tubes. So what is our observation? The color in the tube A changes to bluish black color, whereas the color in the tube B remains unchanged. You can see here this is the color that turns to bluish black, where this is the color which remains unchanged. So what is our conclusion? So this is because the rice in the tube B has been chewed and the saliva has acted on it and broken down the starch molecules into smaller sugar particles. But the starch in the test tube A was not chewed, so the starch molecules are intact in it. The starch reacts with iodine to give a bluish black color. This indicates the action of saliva on starch. Now in the next slide we are going to study how do we get hiccups. Hiccups start much lower in the body, though in the diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle between lungs and stomach. There is a diaphragm, that is a muscular seat present as a dome shape between the lungs and stomach. But if something irritates your diaphragm, it can spasm, forcing you to suddenly suck air into your throat where it hits your voice box, and that makes your voice or vocal cords suddenly close, creating the distinct hic sound. Actually what is happening? Normally when we inhale, the diaphragm contracts to help fill air into the lungs. When we exhale, the diaphragm expands to help push air out of the lungs. But sometimes when we eat too quickly, diaphragm goes down with a jerk, which causes air to enter very fast. The air rushing in causes the flap at the top of our windpipe to snap shut briefly, producing the typical hic sound of a hiccup. Clear? And this may happen a number of times. Now we are entering into the process of the nutrition, that is the absorption. As we can see, the absorption is the process by which digested food passes through the blood vessels in the wall of intestine. As we have seen that this is the process where the simpler substances get diffused into the blood and then it is distributed to different parts of the body. Actually in the absorption, one of the part of the small intestine, that is the inner wall of the small intestine, has a finger-like projection called villi. Each increases surface area for absorption of food. You can see here this is the small intestine, and whatever the surface area you can see, these are nothing but the villi, that are the finger-like projection that increases the surface area so that the more and more absorption can be made. After that, the chyme now passes into the large intestine where water and minerals are absorbed. Assimilation. The assimilation is the process in which absorbed molecules are utilized for the cellular functions, as we have seen earlier. Assimilation is the process in which the simplest substances now they are used to form the complex substances inside our body. The absorption process takes place mainly in the small intestine, while the assimilation process takes place in the liver. That is one of the difference between the absorption and assimilation. In absorption, the nutrients are added up in the bloodstream, whereas in the assimilation, the molecules are taken away from the bloodstream by different cells of the body. So these are the two differences between the assimilation and the absorption. In the assimilation, that is taking place in the small intestine, with the assimilation, yeah, it takes place in the small intestine, but it is mainly taking place in the liver. And the second difference is, as we have seen, that in absorption the nutrients are being added up to the bloodstream, while in assimilation the nutrients are being taken away from the bloodstream. Thank you.